The only thing worse than having to face that San Francisco defense is having to face them trailing, which is what happened to Russell Wilson last night. Oh, by the way, 7 for 15, 35 minutes time of possession, 24 of 34. I know. There's this great new kid named Lamar Jackson. Everybody's in on all that MVP Lamar Jackson talk. Y'all need to settle down just a tad here because, you see, Lamar Jackson has this advantage over Russell Wilson. When he plays, he has a full complement of players with him. Last night against San Francisco, on the road, trailing early, he was down to one functional tight end, something called Jacob Hollister, a practice squad guy, a rookie wide receiver, DK Metcalf, who can't run many routes. Josh Gordon had been in Seattle 10 days. Undrafted Malik Turner, who at one point Pete Carroll said, "Who's Malik Turner?" None of us knew, and I'm from Seattle. Late in the game with that, against that defense on the road, multiple times Russell Wilson had winning potential drives up and down the field. Had Seattle's game been on last week against Tampa, the MVP race is over. But Seattle tends to be, right next to Alaska and Idaho, so it's geographically isolated. The only reason their games get on TV, period, the last 10 years is Russell Wilson. Maybe last 7, 6, 5, whatevs. My point is, let's stop the MVP talk. There are guys playing quarterback, guys learning how to play quarterback, and about 3 guys in this league that have mastered quarterback. You were watching one. Russell Wilson, in his career, he has faced 6 times a team that is 8 games or better above 500, meaning, translation, a great team. He's 6-0. Last night, this is a guy that makes everything work for Seattle. 3 years ago, he led the NFL in touchdown passes with the lowest rated offensive line. Tom Brady can't do that. Aaron Rodgers can't do that. Patrick Mahomes can't do that. Drew Brees can't do that. Dan Marino couldn't do that. John Elway couldn't do that. Joe Montana can't do that. I'm not sure Deshaun Watson can do that. That's insane. Everybody works with him. Doug Baldwin goes to Stanford, undrafted, becomes a star. Tyler Lockett is a gadget guy out of Kansas State, becomes a star. They have a tight end. I'm from Seattle. The Huskies had a tight end named Will Disley. He was a blocking tight end. He actually started playing defense. They moved him over to tight end. His junior year, he had 2 catches. He ends up with Seattle. He got hurt this year, and we all said, oh, my God, how are they going to make it without Will Disley? He made Will Disley a name. He works with everybody. By the way, the last 2 quarterbacks that got drafted number 1, Kyler Murray, Baker Mayfield, got drafted because of him. And I wouldn't be shocked if this morning Russell Wilson isn't at a children's hospital with sick children. Have you ever seen this guy emotionally? Last night he throws a pick. And he's like, all right, goes to the sidelines. Let's go, let's go, let's go. I mean, I always talk about 30% of what you're paying a quarterback is leadership. I've never seen anything like it. I mean, Brady occasionally shows emotion, not a bunch, but some. Russell Wilson throws a Super Bowl interception. He throws an interception last night. It doesn't bother him for a minute. He is so unique. I like Lamar Jackson. He's still figuring out how to play quarterback. He gets to play the Bengals twice a year. Russell Wilson's got to play the Rams twice. He got to play the Niners twice. By the way, the surprise team in the league not called the Raiders is Arizona. He's got to play them twice. He's got to face McVay and Wade Phillips and Kyle Shanahan. You got to be kidding me. I like Lamar. I'm a Lamar fan. I like a lot of these young quarterbacks. But what you're watching here is ridiculous. This is absurd. On the road, San Francisco's practice squad tight ends, undrafted wide receivers. I'm from Seattle. I don't know who these guys are. I mean, could they? Josh Gordon's been there 10 days, and that worked. New England's like, enough Josh Gordon. Russell Wilson's like, I'll take Flash. Boom, boom. 2 huge catches last night. I just think we're looking at a guy, no losing seasons ever. Just doesn't, we make excuses for Cam. He's never had back-to-back winning seasons. Russell Wilson's never had a losing season. NC State, win, win, win. Wisconsin, win. Seattle, win, 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 win. You know how hard that is in the NFL without Bill Belichick as your coach? Do you know how hard it is? Look what happened to Atlanta this year. Look at Philadelphia struggling. We've had Aaron Rodgers the last 2 years couldn't win in Green Bay. Patrick Mahomes has lost 3 straight starts. You know how hard it is to win in this league? I mean, Lamar's great, but you got to be kidding me. I'm watching him last night, and it wasn't a stat night for him. Last night wasn't about stats, and the MVP's about stats. That's not what last night was about. It was about leadership and moxie and toughness and a big mistake and overcoming it and dealing with used parts. And I said this about Tiger Woods. Just enjoy Tiger Woods. Because Tiger left, and for years and years, we were like, that guy's Tiger, and that guy's Tiger, and Rory's Tiger, and I'm like, no. There's no more Tiger. We're never going to see anything like Russell Wilson. Kyler Murray's interesting. He's a prototype, but this guy's crazy. I mean, he's just out of his mind unique. All right, let me go to this. Jimmy Garoppolo's getting a lot of heat this morning. Man, he looked rattled. That guy looked flustered. Okay, we get so spoiled watching Russell Wilson, who's mastered the position, and Drew Brees has mastered the position, and Tom Brady. They've taken all these snaps. They've been college starters for years. That you watch a Brady in the 2-minute drill and a Brees and a Russell Wilson, and yeah, Jimmy Garoppolo was a little flustered. There's a bunch of quarterbacks in this league that are very young and very good, and I like most of them. I like Sam Darnold. I like Carson Wentz. I like Dak. I like Lamar. I like Jimmy Garoppolo. I like Deshaun Watson. I like Patrick Mahomes. But these guys' games swing wildly because they're learning the position. What did Jimmy Garoppolo have to endure last night? Let's think about it. Oh, he faced Pete Carroll, arguably the best defensive coach in this league for a decade, not named Bill Belichick. For all young quarterbacks, their performances are based on who did they face? Pete Carroll. How's their offensive line's health or match up? I don't know. Did you watch the game last night? A 5-story building named Jadeveon Clowney was chasing Garoppolo over the field. You think that gets into your head a little bit? And oh, by the way, what are your weapons? You saw Dak when Zeke left. Deshaun Watson didn't have a left tackle. Carson Wentz didn't have a deep threat. Patrick Mahomes doesn't have Kareem Hunt. You noticing with the young quarterbacks? Last night, no George Kittle. Emmanuel Sanders got hurt. It was a bunch of kids, most who couldn't catch. I mean, when it comes to young quarterbacks, ask yourself, what defense are they facing? Pete Carroll. How's your offensive line doing? Last night, not great. Sacked 5 times. Jadeveon Clowney, best game as a pro. What's the update on your weapons? Patrick Mahomes was not the same without Kareem Hunt. Jared Goff when Cooper Kupp got hurt. Dak without Zeke. Deshaun Watson without a left tackle. Yes, Carson Wentz without a deep threat, Deshaun Jackson. These young quarterbacks swing wildly based on those 3 factors. And Jimmy Garoppolo last night was good enough to get him. He didn't have his Pro Bowl tight end. He didn't have his best veteran receiver. He's facing Jadeveon Clowney. He's facing Pete Carroll. And by the way, Monday Night Football against Russell Wilson, that's like a playoff game. Kyle Shanahan gets it. Kyle Shanahan, thank God his coach isn't overreacting like Twitter. He gets Jimmy Garoppolo. Listen, nobody could catch Jimmy Garoppolo's passes last night. His guys are the Seahawks late. He looked a little flustered. They all do. Because young quarterbacks fluctuate as they're learning the position wildly based on who do they face, how's their offensive line holding up, and are their weapons healthy. And last night he had 3 real challenges. By the way, Jimmy Garoppolo has the same number of career starts as Sam Darnold. And we're holding off on Sam Darnold. He didn't have enough start. He's got 3 fewer starts than Baker Mayfield. And we're saying, well, let's not rush to bury Baker Mayfield. Garoppolo started 19 games. He's 6-3. He's 16-3. Jimmy Garoppolo, 19 starts, 16-3. He's good. We're good here. Yes, he didn't look quite as calm as Russell Wilson. You know, that's sort of the way it is. You know, that's kind of the way it is when you're on the field with Brady and Brees and Russell Wilson, guys who have mastered the toughest position in sports. Hi, everybody. Thanks for watching. Subscribe here to get the latest from the show. Also, be sure to check out more of the best clips from The Herd or go watch a few segments from other shows on FS1.